Hey folks, welcome to Friday, 17th of September, quad witching. So we have, of course, the expiry of a lot of contracts, futures contracts, options contracts, the whole nine yards coming today. I have posted a link in the room explaining the full details on what quad witching is. So do feel free to go and have a look at that. We have a pretty quiet morning, and we're going to get some we're going to get some core CPI data out of the Eurozone in about 13 minutes time. We had pretty quiet morning on several occasions this week, but we therefore then went on to find quite the volatility come out of the session. Well, maybe not huge volatility, but let's get over and have a look at these charts and see what could come out of this session. And straight off the bat, let's just have a look at T notes on the weekly bar chart here. We have been coming off from the last time we were at this downtrend for the last several weeks, and so really I would be looking for a breach on the low here of this support that we've seen coming back to the 60-minute charts. You can actually see that area down here just above S1. I think if we are going to get that volatility today, obviously, if we're going to be moving up in stocks, we really do have to look at that risk on trade, and that's T notes down, breaching this trend. And I just thought that would be really quite important to note as we kind of look for evidence of that maybe coming into play across equities. You've seen the DAX really over the week. It's gradually lifted off of that 100 EMA here, right? So I think any pullbacks down onto say the S3 or 15.511s, should be buying that for that general trend and that swing trade to continue. Looking over on US equities here, on the Nasdaq, really let's look at this on the daily. You can see again on the 20 EMA holding below. It hasn't been a great area to be buying or selling at all this week, to be honest. I think this area, which is the day's range in the 25th of August, has been pretty solid for us to look to get into this market. That low buying the dip on Wednesday, coming in, or the big coming in around 3:30 there, an hour after the open, and all the way into the close. And similar yesterday, pretty much a later bid came in, but again, 3:30, on that positive data that we had from the Philly Fed, big old beat, similar to the New York Empire manufacturing data, really good drive there into the close. And so we have to start thinking about, higher highs now, really, on any pullbacks. We don't have that kind of soft catalyst this morning coming through the European session in these US equities. These stocks are remaining quite buoyant, so I think any pullbacks should be supported here. I do like 15,436, which is the high here of the 27th of August. But failing that, pop down into what has been this sort of support zone just below the 20 EMA. I'd also be looking at that. Obviously, notwithstanding sort of a negative downside headline catalyst coming into the markets. SPOOs, this chart is getting quite busy. I'm actually going to delete this area that I've been looking at, but I still do like any longs from that area. I'm also going to delete this sort of interim level I had. Looking over at SPOOs on the daily. Here it is. Really, let me see if I can automatic this, and then there we go. So look at this uptrend, well supported on the 50 EMA. If we do see that today, I think 44.14s is going to be supportive in this area down below, just above, right there below, just above S2 44.12s. So I do like that. I think if we push, I don't want to be standing in front of this thing trying to pick a top. The same way I don't want to be, regularly trying to pick the bottoms. So, and then Dow, looking over at the Dow on the daily, it's a sleepier giant, really. This has been a phenomenal area, taking sorry, I think I took the low of this area. I haven't actually changed this area since. Um, let's see if I could find how I found the low of this area by looking at my 60-minute charts. Not so clear there, but I haven't actually changed this area. And of course, yesterday, finding the low there just around where today's S1 is, 34,404s, and finding that bid into the close. So again, what I have said numerous times is that we have to really do the buyers have a lot to do. I've been saying that really since Monday, and so the buyers failed here on Monday. Um, Tuesday. Failed again Wednesday, Thursday failure. So today, the buyers, they got to do it. They are working off of this lower area, but when it comes up into the 50 EMA, we're just not seeing that pop and a sustained hold thereafter. 34,775s. You can get on board with a bit of front running seen by the US equity counterparts like NASDAQ, but I would much prefer to be kind of looking at a lead lag relationship on the SPOOs. So for me, the only dissonance I have here is while I do like the look of the longs on a pullback on SPOOs, I actually like shorts on a pullback up on Dow here, but I'm probably going to leave the Dow well alone, because I just have that sort of element of dissonance in there. I think, let's see, 39,919s down the bottom. I think if we do see that, I would definitely be a buyer. I think the 100 EMA probably will, if it's tested, will defend quite well today. And on the short side, if we do start running to the highs, I don't really fancy stepping in front of this market, to be honest, and taking a short. Oil, well, this 60 minutes says it all. We've had a really phenomenal push here on Wednesday, up higher. We actually got the DOE. By the time we had the DOE, let's see, Wednesday, yeah, by the time we had the DOE, pretty much we had already pushed into this high area, and then just coming off thereafter. You can see here on the chart where we've now rolled to the November X21 contract as of over the overnight. So I have been holding shorts on this market. I think it hasn't really taken the bait to the downside, so I'm probably going to look to rearrange and get flat coming into this US session, or into this pit session today. You can probably hear my son kicking off in the other room right now. So yeah, this is WTI. I mean, where would I like to be getting long on this thing? Really, the only place I'd be looking for a decent long here would actually be 69, 62s. So, or in and around there, coming down to the 69.38s. Actually going to take off quite a few of these levels because we have one too many here, I have to say. So yeah, I mean 69.38s, but actually down into here. Oh, I lost my arrow key. Down into this area here, 69s. I would like a pull back into there, 69.38s as well. I'm not sure if we're gonna get that. We're really gonna have to wait until the pit session to see if we do have any further downside momentum coming into this contract, or else we're going to be held on the 71.72s long. Gold, yesterday phenomenal push down by gold underneath this mega uptrend. It's now testing on that trend. As of this morning, cheeky little short on the first test. Initial inflection, then getting out 1762s. A tidy little trade to be had there. For me, I actually think it's a little bit tricky. We scrubbed this entire area. I'd rather wait and see if we can hold below this trend as we're doing right now. And if so, you could be in for that short again now to work down and make a new low on the week. Of course, Reed is looking at 17 17 or no 1680s, actually 1680s, way down here around this area, 1692s for the target. That would be a nice big trade, and really it's just not too far beyond S2. That move would be, let's see, from where we are right now, you're looking at a 4% down move in gold. A lot of people talking about gold really being out of flavor or out of favor right now, given that we're expecting a greater bounce back in the global economy, from as stated by the IMF earlier this week. So you're just seeing a little bit of retracement bounce, probably on the cards for now. 1781 short, I would be interested in for sure. Actually, just to illustrate that for you, we had this sort of area here around the 1781s, which was highly supportive to bounce back to the 200 EMA, and then we just went off down. So retesting here, it could be an interesting short. And then the euro dollar picture, it's very complex right now. I'm going to be leaving that alone for today. All right. So yeah, that's it from me for today's pre-US session. As always, any questions, feel free to hit me up in the chat room, or DM me. This will be the conclusion of the first week spent in the new Duggan Capital server. Thanks so much for joining. It really is tremendous to have everyone over, and looking forward to more coming next week. So, all right, listen, if I don't talk to you, have a great weekend, and be safe out there. All right, cheers.